Put your fucking mask on. Who invited you to come
I'm eating and I can
drink your ass up? Don't you dare talk to me like that.
God damn it.
You stand your step up. Stand your ass up. Stand your ass up.
Sit down, Karen.
Karen?
You're a goddamn Karen.
No.
Sit down.
Sir.
Sit down, Karen.
Sit down, pussy.
Pussy, no, you're the pussy.
Oh, no, you're the dick.
Literally.
What about him?
What about him?
Mask up. Mask up.
She didn't have her mask on either.
Tell him
You
to
got
mask
your
up.
mask down, bitch.
Sir.
Yes, I did.
Stop it
Now you're going to jail. That's assault. You're going to jail. As soon as we get in Atlanta, you're going to jail. Bitch. Karen. Hey, spit on me. Now you're double going to jail. Bitch.
You fucking piece of shit.
Piece of pussy. Sit down, Karen.
Fucking
Sit down, Karen. Sit down, fucking Karen.
Piece of pussies.
Look, she punched me.
Put your
Smashed my
fucking
face.
mask on. Tell him to put his mask on. Put your fucking
She
mask
punched me.
on.
She smashed my face. I want her to fuck
Put
out
your
of here.
fucking mask on.
I want her out of here. Open the door. Push her out.
Yeah. Throw her out the freaking airlock.
Put your mask
Put
on.
yours on, bitch.
I will put my mask on. I will put my mask on when you put your mask on. Thank you.
Oh man, dude, look
He's
at his
bleeding.
cheek. Look at his cheek.
Oh, she's wearing a ring, dude. That's why.
She went crazy on the airplane.
100% that diamond, that ice cut him on the cheek.
Dude, I feel really sorry for people named Karen ever since that. It was a perfectly fine name, and just overnight it was just so perfect. Now it's
My neighbor across the street, I found out like a couple months ago her name's Karen. And I was like, oh, nice to meet you. In the back of my head, I'm like, I'm so sorry if you were born with this name.
I'm gonna look up. Okay, so can't you look up popular names and like the rate? I bet you anything if we look up the naming of their kids Karen this year, it probably just went straight down to zero.
Oh yeah, I would say, but at the same time, if you look up popular girl names by year,
yeah,
where did Karen peak?
I don't know, but I want to see if it just dove. I bet you it did. I don't think anyone names their kids Karen now.
Oh, this is perfect. All right, here I'm going to share.
Let's see.
This.
Let's see.
Let's see. Share screen.
Yes.
Chrome tab. There we go. So I just did top 5 names and births between 1921 and 2020. Did a little search for Karen. Very popular between 1957 and 1966. Peak boomer age. So you're talking 60-year-old women now, the ones that are super bitchy.
I guess there's a reason it happened. Right? Stereotypes happen for a reason. So this lady, unfortunately, her name wasn't Karen. Her name was Patricia Cornwall. 51. She looks pretty good for a 51-year-old gal. But apparently she was going her way back to the bathrooms, and a flight attendant told her that she couldn't go back to her seat until they're done with the carts. And she's quoted to have said, what am I, Rosa Parks? So I'm going to give her a point for that one because that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
So she got one in there. And then
what provoked the confrontation with the guy not wearing his mask and her not wearing her mask for the whole ordeal?
Well, let's see. Okay. The male passenger said he told Cornwall it was an inappropriate comment and that she isn't black. This isn't Alabama and this isn't a bus. Well, it sounds like he was being a little bit of a Karen himself, if you ask me. I mean,
that's just telling him to shut up.
Now he sounds like he's being a little tattletale. Excuse me, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then he proceeded to call her a bitch and a piece of pussy. And so
a piece of pussy.
I'm learning I'm learning a lot from these videos, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do if I'm ever accosted on an airplane.
Hopefully, I'm not stringing together insults like piece of pussy, but like the amount of times in my life where I've actually had to sit there and like throw insults at someone is very few. So I might stumble in the moment. That's my biggest fear.
It's never happened, but if we're gonna be podcast hosts, we have to learn how to do it because that's the name of the game, is being a jerk in public. And if you do a good job, and if you
Being a jerk
you
on Twitter,
win,
not in public.
well, Twitter's good. I mean, Twitter's good, but if you're ever caught on camera and you're in like a shouting match with people, you got to win. And yeah, I don't know.
So what you're saying is you got to know how to deal with hecklers.
Yeah. Well, the way this guy dealt with hecklers was calling her a bitch and a Karen.
I mean, I think
And,
Karen made her blood boil, but that's the new C word.
So it sounds to me like they both kind of had a stick up their ass, and
But she actually committed assault.
but she actually struck him, and I guess he was smart enough to know not to hit her back. But I don't know. It is kind of a bitch move for someone to hit you. Like, imagine guys couldn't do. I mean, well, he's a guy. I guess doing it to a girl is a little different. But if a guy hits you,
Just got to give her a little schmuck.
excuse me, you're going to jail for that, sir. It's just like, I mean, it's the smart thing to do, but it's also the wimpiest thing to do. But I guess if it's a girl, it's like, what are you gonna do? Hit her back?
You can't really do that. Then you're just the bad guy.
No, you're going to jail. I don't know. But apparently, okay, so she was charged. She's facing federal assault charges.
Federal, because it was on a plane.
That's what I wonder. I guess because you're in the sky and they don't, I guess the states aren't responsible for crimes that happen in the air if it's flying over your state.
It's so bullshit though. Just like slap her with a $500 fine and everyone go about their day or something like that. I don't know.
Dude, you know me. I don't like seeing anyone go to jail or prison. Apparently she's I read that she's had other, charges and stuff before for like DUIs and stuff like that. Nothing to do with like assault.
Yeah,
But,
it doesn't matter.
yeah, kind of stupid. I wouldn't have filed charges if I were him. I'm not the kind of guy who would be like, okay, now I'm gonna tell on you now because you hit me. But dude, still, that's not the point. The point is very, very entertaining. And
Yeah.
it seems like ever since they did the mask thing, there's just tons of fights on planes and stuff now. People are all yelling at each other now on
I think
planes.
the world's on edge. I was reading an article that people are more rude to like restaurant service than they've ever been before. It's like
How do you measure that?
I don't know. It's anecdotal.
Measuring
but,
the number of people who told me.
No, just like patrons in restaurants. If you work in like customer service or food waiting, people have never been ruder. It's like something about COVID has made us forget how to act like people. And it's probably because we're all boxed up and we only interact with anyone who's in our apartment or home. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I don't see shit like this. Do you?
No. Well, no,
In
so
Texas,
I saw it. I went to UPS and this guy was just like barking at the lady's head because his package didn't make it. He like overnighted it and it didn't get there in time. And it's like, dude, did she just like hands it to the truck driver? Leave her alone. It's not her fault.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah. Why'd you lose my package?
Did you open it? You didn't see what it was, did you?
But like, yeah, people are just losing their shit.
I don't know. I think it's possible, like, before masks, there really wasn't any identifiers on whether or not the person that you're interacting with is on your team or the other team. So
Unless
now
they wear
that
like
masks,
something like explicitly political.
right? That's true, and you see those people get in fights all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now that masks are a thing, I guess. But on the other hand, it sounds like these two people are going to fight either way because she didn't have her mask on, and
Yeah, I think her angle of attack of put your mask on, like she's trying to like assert power over him.
yeah,
I don't think she really gave a shit about the mask.
she was trying to win. Well, put your mask on, but of course, her flaw was that she didn't have hers on, and he was eating.
Yeah, she's trying to use the authority of the flight attendants to like force him to put his mask on and then shut up. Like
I've heard the airlines are done. Like I heard they're actually announcing like they're going to lift all the mask, bans and stuff because they're probably sick of all of this bad press.
I mean, the first thing I do is like after I get into the gates, I like undo the nose. When I get on the plane, I'm like, fuck this.
I haven't been on a plane since this happened.
Oh,
I've never experienced COVID planes.
It's yeah, it's just obnoxious having to wear a mask for 3 hours.
Right, and there's only probably 2 people on the plane who actually think the masks are doing anything on a sealed container in the air, circulating air that everyone's breathing.
It's circulating that air through like a super HEPA filter that like the virus has no chance of spreading around because the air is getting refreshed constantly.
I didn't know that. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, I mean, you still don't need them, I guess.
No, not on a plane. It's actually like the
unless
air
you
is
spit
super
on
fresh.
people. Yeah, unless you spit on people, I guess. Or
what if she had COVID on her ring when she cut him?
And then she spits on him. That's the best part. She's like, "Put your mask on. Put your mask on," and then she spits on it. Like the worst thing you could do if you're talking.
Enjoy your syphilis. Yeah, you can spread worse diseases than COVID through bodily fluids.
Yeah, that's true. Can you get AIDS through spit? I don't think so. I think it has to be blood.
Of course, you can get AIDS from sitting on toilet seats.
Yeah, that's why I never poop in public bathrooms. I'm not getting AIDS. You kidding?
No, I do. I stand on the rim and I squat over and then drop bombs into the toilet.
I go in the urinals because odds are no one used that. You're probably the first one.
Yeah. No AIDS butts touch the urinal rim.
Yeah, so I have noticed something funny. Like COVID's been around long enough to where, like, if you announce to your friends that you're sick or your family's sick, what's the first question they ask?
Is it COVID?
That's the first thing anybody brings up. Like, if you go to your friend, like, my family's sick, it's just, oh, well, okay. Like the next logic, like you don't even have to ask. They'll probably just straight up say it's COVID or it's not. But it's funny when they say like it's not COVID. Oh, okay, whatever. Why'd you even tell me then? Like, I don't need to know this. Like, nobody gives a shit if it's not COVID.
Yeah. I recently went through a COVID scare. So like we had a big get together and one person tested positive afterwards. And it was like everyone scrambling to get tested at the last second. Everyone's freaking out. And it just turns out like only one person got COVID. Everyone else had allergies. But like once you think you have COVID, you hyper focus on everything that's wrong with you. It's like, oh, you know what? I have this slight headache. Could that be COVID?
Yeah, no wonder. No wonder. My balls have been itching for a week. Of course.
Now, you, sir, have actually gotten the plague.
Guilty as charged. Burn me at the stake. It happened. I got it. And it was. It started off just like, and this is my confession. I've already busted. I've got a trial and everything, and I've already confessed. I'm pleading guilty, so I could tell the world now what happened. But it started off with just like a normal sick. I don't know if you've got. So have you ever had it?
No.
I don't know if the one person listening.
I've been trying my best to get COVID. I just can't seem to do it.
So that was my plan. So first of all, I hadn't been vaccinated this entire time. And my strategy was I'm going to get COVID and then beat it and move on with my life. And if I get it again, who cares? Like, I wasn't scared of it. Yeah. It's just, COVID will be destroyed, 100% destroyed. The invisible enemy. And, so it started off just like any sickness where you get the scratchy throat. I don't know about you, but like that's how you can know basically the day before, and then you announce, well, I'm going to be sick.
Oh, yeah. You feel bad. You're like, oh, fuck.
It's right there. There's an alarm. Someone's put, like, oh, shit. And so
it's going to suck.
Yeah. And so you tell it. So that's how it started. And it came on kind of like that, too. It wasn't until I realized I couldn't taste my meal. And then I got, this was surprising, the worst migraine, the worst headache in my life. I've never had like a migraine before, but this one gave me one for some reason. Like when people talk about COVID, that's not usually something that comes up. Like, well, did you have a headache? Like I didn't really run a fever, but I felt like shit. And I got the worst headache of my life where it's just all right here, mostly on this side. Sometimes this side would jump in for a little bit too, but usually it's just right there. And so fortunately my wife gets she gets migraines. So she had this little cold pack thing. And so I was putting that on
I
and
know what
it
to
was
do.
great. Oh, and it's great, but that only lasts like 15 minutes. Then you got to throw it back in the freezer, and then you just got to be miserable for another few hours. So that was something that struck me. That went away after a couple days, and I never really registered a fever, but I felt nauseous. I felt like shit. I didn't really get congested or anything, but you just feel shitty. And here's another weird thing that's never happened before. It tricks you into thinking you're done. So I was basically well in the mornings, and then I want to kill myself in the evenings. And then the next morning, I'm like, okay, great. I think I'm getting over it. And then you feel shit again in the evening. And it basically did that day after day after day. Like you get like the evenings get just
Was it
slightly
like
better
that's
every
when
time.
your Tylenol was falling off and you had to re up, and then in the morning, like
No, I don't use any meds at all ever. I'm against them.
what?
So I never use Tylenol, never use anything. I use holistic medicine and I meditate the pain away.
You just surround yourself with crystals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do too, but the crystals are just bottles of Tylenol and ibuprofen.
Dude, I don't call it ibuprofen. I call them bitch pills. So
Bitch pills, dude. No,
may cause femininity. No, the first thing actually it was the first time I ever took Midol, which is just I think it's Tylenol mixed with ibuprofen with caffeine.
Ibuprofen, caffeine. Yeah. Yep.
They just mix it in a big pill, and I'm like, oh, that worked. But no, because like I said, like so it took forever. So it was like a week of just shitty symptoms, and then the next week, even after all the symptoms went away, I just didn't feel right. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like it was kind of like I was depressed, but I was tired too. But I don't know. I just didn't feel right. So like something was wrong. It was like I took a drug or something. It's like I was tripping, and you get that like, when is this going to be over kind of feeling. And I even looked up, like, does COVID make you like give you brain fog? But the problem is, anytime you look up anything on COVID, you get the worst like horror story. It's like, so I was asking, does COVID make you not feel right? Like, when does that kind of wear off? And the top story is like, COVID for the long haul. Will you ever get over the symptom of brain fog? Some people say it lasts months. And you're like, Jesus Christ! Like,
does COVID make you bleed from the ears?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you basically can't turn to the internet at all for this.
No, so that's actually a big problem. I think that's driving everyone's fear is the COVID hypochondriacs. People are like, oh, I lost my taste for months. And it's like, did you really? Are you just looking for attention here? You want us to, oh, you poor soul, you got COVID. Especially in the beginning when nobody knew shit about what it does. Yeah. Now that it's like millions of people have gotten this, once people are like, I've had COVID for 2 months now. I'm like, fuck off. No, you didn't.
Yeah. Well, and after Homeboy went on Joe Rogan, and now he's like really saying you get it once, you can't get it again. Like, that's really making me think. I don't know. We'll get to that. We can talk about that. But if he's right, then so my strategy.
So many assholes are like, I've had it 3 times now, and it's like, no, you had it once, and then you got some other cold or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like if you never got a test and you never got a positive test, you can't actually say I got it. Because I know enough people now who just would have sworn that that's what it was, and then they take the test and it's negative. And I think positives happen all the time, but if it says negative, that's a really good indicator that it's negative. I think that's how
I've got 3 young kids this year. I've gotten like 5 different viruses this year. One of them was like a neurovirus. The other one was hand, mouth, foot disease. Like, I've never heard of that. I've gotten so many viruses this year, and my first assumption every time was like, oh, is this COVID? And every time the PCR test is like, no, it's just a normal virus. You get these all the time, dumbass.
Yeah, I don't give a crap about what you got. That wasn't COVID. What are you complaining, dude? Jesus, come on.
And then if it's any virus other than COVID, people don't like give a shit if you're in the room with them.
No.
Like, hey, I have hand, mouth, foot disease. Like, oh, what's that? It's like, it's just like you might have a fever. I don't know.
Okay, you're taking me to the vaccine, and I'm getting scared because it's just like I was all week. I've been thinking, you know what? If they had put half the amount of effort that they put on the COVID vaccine onto the flu vaccine, then everybody would be like if they like the flu vaccine exists, but no one busts your balls for not taking it, or nobody harasses you for not taking it. No one requires that you take it to go to certain venues or whatever, but it's the same idea as the COVID vaccine. Same
Well,
principle. It works the same. Like,
we've all been exposed to the flu too, so like we know what it's like if you get it.
yeah,
Like you've had the flu before, right?
of course.
Yeah, so it's like for me, the first time was the worst time, and every other time I've gotten the flu after that, it was nowhere near as bad. And it's because you've been exposed to this virus. You get the new variant every year,
Yeah.
but you've got an immune system that's used to the flu.
Yeah.
COVID special is because Americans, Westerners, have never been exposed to a SARS virus before, and here's the first one.
Wasn't was there another SARS?
SARS was like, it hit Asia pretty bad, but that's why
Okay.
Asians they're like COVID, whatever. It's just the flu because they've all had SARS.
Yeah. They just yeah. Yeah.
It's new to us, and
It's new to us, and America seems to me to be way more susceptible to like media kind of campaigns than other countries are. I don't know how true that is, but I know America's media machine is the most effective in the world. I'm sure it's the most effective in the world at like propaganda, and I think the Americans are the most susceptible to it because we're in America.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I think people are naturally going to be suspicious of news that's coming from other countries but if you're inside the country that the news is coming from, doesn't that make, like, it seems like you'd be more susceptible to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it pisses me off. It pisses me off, dude, because people who really, really, really say they care about the COVID vaccine, it's like, I can't say they don't care. I can't jump in their brain and say, like, you're lying when you say that. They probably do, but I don't believe they would if the media didn't make them care about it.
No. If it was like, what was the last big flu variant, like swine flu or bird flu? And there was like a big campaign for everyone to go get the vaccine. Like, but there was nobody a bunch of millennials weren't on Facebook like, I just got my booster today. I feel great. You should too. And they weren't like, I just got my swine flu vaccine today and you should too. Like, none of that bullshit. That's all propaganda.
No, swine flu came and went and no one gave a shit because the media just didn't cover it like they covered COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have covered it the same way. People died from the swine flu. I'm sure not as many as COVID. I mean,
no.
Let's be real. But hey, let's do this and then let's bounce off COVID. I don't want COVID. I was really kind of hoping we can get off COVID.
This isn't a COVID show. But you had it, so we had to talk about it.
That's true. Yeah. So anyway, bottom line, COVID, it really did kick my ass. I mean, it really did suck to wrap that up.
You died and then you came back.
Yeah, it was probably maybe top 10 like worst times I've been sick. But here, get this. I actually gave it to my son. I'm pretty sure I gave it to Ethan. It's funny, like, I tried to do stuff like, okay, daddy's sleeping on the couch, everybody get away from me. And I don't know, I mean, if you guys have 2 or 3 year olds, like getting them to get away from you is actually harder than it sounds, because you try to get serious with these little bastards and you're like, listen, you need to stay away from daddy or you're going to get sick. You understand? And they're like, yeah. And then just like 5 seconds later, they're like a goldfish. Just like 5 seconds later, it's like we never had that conversation. And they're like trying to wrestle me, like he's trying to wrestle me and stuff. I'm like, no, listen, like you're going to get sick. And there's just nothing you can do to explain to this kid. Like he doesn't care, nothing that you
Kids
say. So
are watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so they think they're ninjas now. And they'll hit me from the front and the back.
Just attack you like Kato and the Pink Panther. You'll just be walking like, go into your office.
It's only a matter of time before one of them gets on all fours behind me and the other one comes up and pushes me over.
Don't give them ideas. Don't tell them. You better not show them any of those videos or they're going to do it to you.
I hope I squished them. I weigh a lot more than them.
Yeah. Of course, with your house, Doom is what you don't want to show them because they could probably pull that off with all the guns that you have. But anyway, let's share this with quick. Yeah, COVID sucked. Oh, but my son got it, and it was like he ran a fever for a day, and that was it. The end. Like that was his COVID experience. He sat in front of the TV all day, and then he was fine. Next day, he was fine.
Yeah, I don't understand why we're not having chickenpox parties for kids for COVID.
We probably should. He's got natural immunity now. Dude, now
he's got the best vaccine on the market.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, don't be scared of COVID. But to wrap it up with that, I thought this was pretty interesting because this just
don't be scared of COVID unless you're old or really fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you smoke crack, maybe. I don't know. CDC updates and shortens recommended isolation and quarantine period for general population. So they're saying now you don't have to isolate for 10 days anymore. Now 5 days is okay. That's what this
Yeah,
says.
and I believe them. I just also believe they've been lying to us about the whole 2-week thing.
Yeah, yeah. Generally 1 to 2. Listen, yeah. So anyway, bottom line, these three, they're basically saying, this is my favorite sentence. The second sentence, the change is motivated by science demonstrating that the majority of SARS-CoV-2 transmissions occurs early in the course of illness, generally 1 to 2 days prior to onset of symptoms, and the 2 to 3 days after. It says science demonstrating. This is from the CDC, I think.
Trust
That's
science.
how they talk about science. That's how they say science discovered this, like science is a god or something.
I wish
That's
they
not
would
what
be
science
more
is.
specific. Like virologists say this. Like
Right.
which scientists?
This
Like, 'cause
report says this. This study says this. But yeah,
Like-
saying science figured this out, it sounds an awful lot like just
it's a priest class. Like,
Yeah.
like the priest told us.
yeah. Instead of them saying they got a message from God and telling people, it's just like, well, science did this. Anyway, but it's really funny how people have been treating what the CDC had been saying up to this point as just bulletproof. Peak scientific inquiry and studies led them to that very specific, rule of 2 weeks, right, or 10 days, and now they can just shorten it. They can divide it in two just by saying, yeah, we've decided it doesn't have to be this long anymore.
Yeah.
And everyone just accepts it and moves on, even though they were just vigorously defending them for their other stance that they just had.
People aren't accepting this though. There's a lot of people upset about this. If I can follow the few Twitter posts I've seen about it.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, well, it's because it's politicized. So no matter what happens, they're going to treat it like victories or defeats for like their side. But yeah, I'm sure people are pissed off. What do you think about it though? Does this mean that for any institution to soften its stance on COVID right now you don't see it very often.
We're at the end game, especially with the data on Omicron coming out, it being like similar to the cold. Like I've seen a lot of people say this is nature's vaccine because you get Omicron, you go through the weakest version of COVID, and then those antibodies are good at protecting you against future variants.
Who's the one that said, dude? Whoever said that we're right. Whoever said that viruses historically, what happens is viruses become less deadly and more spreadable over time.
That makes sense.
As viruses change, because they don't want to kill the host, they want to survive, and the way you survive is by being spread but not killing the host.
That's why Ebola has a hard time taking off anywhere it lands new because it kills too quick.
Yeah. So whoever said that on whatever I was listening to, I'm sure we talked about it on the show before, but that's what's happening. Omicron right now is everywhere, and it's not a big deal. I don't think anyone has even died from it. At least nobody's. I don't think.
Yeah, I think endgame is they're gonna the COVID and flu vaccines are kind of coupled together as a single booster. So you just get like every year you get your Flovid shot.
Flovid. Yeah, buy Flovid now. Help you with your toilet.
I didn't even mean to
clogs.
say that. That's where we're heading. It's gonna be like, get this year's variant booster.
Well, it's interesting. Go ahead.
For me, like, I'll probably get it if it's like, oh, you're at the office, we have them giving shots today. That's how I always got the flu shot. I walk into the office, so like, it's free. Go down during lunch and get the shot. That's how I always got it. I never went out of my way outside of that, though.
If you have to get it to please your social circles and keep that whole situation going.
But no, it was pre-2019, the flu shot was never mandatory for work. It was just a matter of convenience. Like, hey, we're giving them out at the office today. Do you want to get them during lunch? I'm like, sure. I hate getting the flu.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I never got the flu shot ever in my life, and no one's busted my balls for it, except one nurse at the hospital. When they were saying you want to get a flu shot, I said no. She actually did go into a whole spiel, and that was annoying. But all right, let's get off COVID. Do you have anything, or we can talk about Musk? because I want to really talk about the biggest Twitter own I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it started off with Elizabeth Warren, like Elon Musk was named Time Person of the Year, and richest man in the world. I think right now he kind of is for a while, and then he's not. Like for all I know, he could maybe not be the richest man in the world anymore. Let's see.
Every day it's like Bezos versus Musk, like, back and forth. I got you today, motherfucker.
Richest man in the world. Well, yeah. Is this changing? Who's the richest man in the world? Okay, well, some of these articles are saying he's the richest, but I know Bezos or whatever they said for a while.
Well, anyway. I don't know if Bezos is post-divorce because he lost half his net worth after that one.
Jesus Christ, half of it? Oh my God. Dude, she might be the biggest winner in history.
Oh, yeah. And then she married like a high school teacher.
She might be the biggest winner in history. Okay, so anyway, Elizabeth Warren decides, Pocahontas decides to use this as an opportunity to, to make a stump speech about how evil the billionaires are and how they don't pay any taxes and we need more taxes. So she said, let's change the rigged tax code so the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everybody else. So Elon Musk, she's talking about Elon Musk. By the way, look at his picture. Like, do you think they tried to make it look like a dick on purpose? They must have.
He doesn't look like a dick.
The what do you mean? Yes, it does.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Boston Globe article.
No, Elon Musk's profile.
I'm pretty sure he's been in an interview where he was like, yeah, I kind of told them to shape the head a little more.
Yeah, and they like asked him, doesn't that make it a little less, efficient? And he goes like, yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's
funny.
It's clear he's trying to make it look like a dick.
I mean, it's space sex. Has nobody picked up on that yet?
That's got to be what it is.
Here's my favorite part is if you're talking to someone about SpaceX in conversation, if you just say SpaceX, like nobody ever questions you.
No.
I just think you're saying SpaceX.
I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out. And I'd been
in conversation.
I
always say SpaceX.
So now what they need to do is create another space station shaped like a vagina. So
the Dr. Evil rocket from Austin Powers. Johnson.
So what a coincidence that a dick ends up being the most aerodynamic shape for a rocket.
Do you have the clip of him saying Elizabeth Warren would die of irony?
No, I didn't know there was any video of this. Here, let's get through this real quick, and maybe you can look for it. So Elon Musk replies. Elon Musk replies, "Stop projecting, Elizabeth." And he posted a Fox article about Elizabeth Warren as a fraud about her claiming to be Native American. You remind me of when I was a kid and my friend's angry mom would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen. That's what we should have named the title of this episode. If you open here, and here's the finishing blow. And if you open your eyes for 2 seconds, you would realize I pay more taxes than any American in history this year.
Something like 11 billion.
Don't spend it all at once. Oh, wait, you did already.
Boom.
Yeah, so I think his tax.
That picture is looking less like a dick and more like a middle finger now.
So his and it's a big black dick too, by the way. I mean, he is from Africa, so it's an African dick.
He is South African.
Elon Musk, African American, was ends up paying more in taxes than any person in America in history and probably world history, right? I mean, wouldn't the highest taxpayer in America be the highest taxpayer in world history?
Yeah, because the dollar's never been worth less before.
So Pocahontas told this African American that he needs to pay more taxes when he's about to pay more taxes than any person in history ever. I
think the number he quoted was 11 billion in taxes. Here, I've got a fun clip. I'll throw it up on the screen. Just a sec. All right. Let me know if you can hear this.
Hang on, I gotta add it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
He agreed with.
The Annecy.
Oh,
Hall
God
this
damn
weekend.
it.
Yeah, we need to.
Looks like-
we need to get a YouTube Red account. I've been thinking about that with the amount of time I spend on YouTube. I really am just shooting myself in the foot.
I got
need
to
to get a
You
gulag.
can throw it back up.
We need to get a Gulag YouTube channel
You-
of Red or whatever.
I do have it, but it's on my personal Gmail account, not my shitposting YouTube account.
Okay.
Don't forget to take note. Well, you were pretty mean to Senator Warren, though, on Twitter recently. You slammed her, man. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen.
She struck first,
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
She called me a freeloader.
Yeah.
And a grifter who doesn't pay taxes, basically. And I'm literally paying the most tax that any individual in history has ever paid this year, ever. And
pause
she
it.
doesn't pay taxes.
That is really like. Can you think of a bigger like embarrassment than that?
Elizabeth Warren? No.
Yeah, accusing somebody of not paying enough taxes, and it's the biggest bill in history. Like, do you think she actually like? Because I know these people live kind of in a world where they're isolated from the outside world. So do you think like that ever made it into her circle, like the rebuttal? Like, do you think she saw all this? It's Elon Musk. She must have seen it.
No, because honestly, her Twitter's probably run by some intern.
Oh yeah. But well, maybe that would be a shame if she never heard. Imagine if she's still walking around her house with her wine, and her silk robe, thinking, I really just stuck it to that Elon Musk character, that evil billionaire. He must be just crying about us right now.
I doubt she reads the Twitter comments, so she probably has no idea.
She might not even know that she posted this.
No, like I said, an intern probably posted it.
She might not even know any of this is happening. All right, anyway, keep going.
Basically at all. And her salary is paid for by the taxpayer, like me.
Could you even use use TurboTax?
irony?
Would that even work?
If you could die by irony, she would be dead. If irony could kill.
What would happen if you walked into an H&R Block to file your taxes? Like, could they handle your case?
My taxes are actually not that complicated. I do not have any offshore accounts. I don't have any sort of tax shelters. I have basically Tesla and SpaceX stock, and Tesla is publicly traded, so all information is public, and SpaceX is, a C corp that is audited. It has outside auditors, so it'll with outside investors. So it is. Everything is extremely transparent. There are no elaborate sort of tax avoidance schemes or anything like that. So H&R Block could easily do my taxes. I don't need H&R Block. I could do it.
Yeah.
It'd probably take me a few hours to do my taxes. It's very basic.
Did you sell that stock in Tesla because of the Twitter poll?
How long is this?
That's fine, but
yeah,
I wanted to get the quote that H&R Block could do it because
okay,
like he gets paid basically in shares of Tesla, so the cost basis is like whatever it was when Tesla was worth nothing, and then now he finally sells them, so it's all profit for him. So he's like, okay, long-term capital gains, it's going to be I think maybe 20% of that. Fill out your 1080 whatever form, file your taxes. Like he was saying, there's nothing elaborate about his corporate structure. Right. He's not practicing any advanced tax avoidance, and you can tell he's coached because he said tax avoidance and not tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal and discouraged. Tax avoidance is legal and highly encouraged.
What about tax avoision?
Avoision?
What about that one?
Tax avoision. But yeah, like you said, it's pretty simple. He's paying $11 billion on the shares he sold, long-term.
$11 billion, which is a pube out of the national debt.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot of cash.
Yeah, well, sure, it's a lot, but biggest bill in history doesn't even get us close.
Like, how many F-35s do you think that buys?
mean, wasn't that the problem with the last one? It was just crazy expensive.
The F-35 cost 9.1 million. Oh no, 9.9 million annually. Okay.
If I was Musk, I would buy one. What the hell? Just buy one to put in your front yard.
I wonder if they'd sell it to him.
Oh, that's a good question.
Call up. Is it Lockheed?
Musk Mercs.
Yeah, call up Lockheed. Hey, I want an F-35.
Hey, dude, do you have Musk's picture still up? I wanted to talk about how the richest man in the world dresses. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but if I was the richest man in the world, I probably would wear more suits.
All right, I'll throw it up.
I mean, the guy walks around in windbreakers, you know, and listen, this is not to, I'm not putting down that kind of dress, but you don't see him wearing suits that much at all. It's usually kind of just like
I mean, it's
regular.
like every other picture.
Like, well, he went on Jay Leno and he was wearing like a leather jacket. Like,
he's got two modes.
Well, remember,
he's got leather jacket and t-shirt, and he's got suit less the tie. Occasionally he wears a tie though.
Yeah, I guess he probably figured Babylon B didn't need a dress code.
This is the look I like. If I have to wear a suit, I'd much rather have no tie and then have the top button on. It's much more comfortable.
He looks like a Bond villain in that one.
Like the tie looks professional, but the tie, like after a couple hours, like you're like, fuck, I want this thing off of me.
Dude, they should make him a Bond villain. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be so cool.
He's got the face for it for sure.
Well, speaking of speaking of villains, movie villains, did you want to see one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah.
Dude, watch this.
Loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired. I mean, even now, I find it hard to believe that. It just doesn't seem real to me.
Coming this spring,
You haven't said
Academy
much in
Award
public
winner
since
Alec
that
Baldwin.
tragic accident. Why speak out now? I think the big question, and the one you must have asked yourself 1,000 times, how could this have happened? You've described it as a 1 in a trillion shot, and the gun was in your hand. How do you come to terms with that?
Don't give him that answer.
It wasn't in the script.
Look at this, dude. It's like a movie trailer, and it's all about him.
I forget what it was. I think one of my streaming services had like his whole interview on there. Like it was like on Hulu or Paramount Plus or something. It was like, watch the Alec Baldwin special. And it's like, what? Why are you turning this murder story into like part of my subscription service?
This dude. Listen, this is Alec on the stand already. He's basically
he's locked into the story.
Right.
If he goes to civil or criminal court.
It's now he's using the media as like boner for stories like this and a chance to get an A-list actor and make it look like a movie trailer. And then
where the fuck are his lawyers? They're like, dude, just shut up until the legal stuff is settled.
I wonder.
Don't go on TV. Don't talk about this.
Well, he's got good lawyers. Do you think? I mean, and Alec Baldwin doesn't seem stupid.
He's an actor. He's retarded.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's a good point.
Like he'll get good legal advice and like, no, I really need to get my story.
Well, listen, man. But does he have a point? I mean, this really is a narrative game, and if he can create this story that he was just like he was basically a victim to, and this was just a freak accident, force of nature that caused him to do this, like, shouldn't he get to the jury first?
I guess, but his story about how he didn't pull the trigger makes no sense.
Well, no, I mean, it was probably just smart to say that.
Yeah, because you're hoping that whatever jury you get doesn't understand how a Colt single action revolver works.
Well, I'm sure they're going to hold a gun up assuming he gets charged. And that I don't even know. But they're definitely going to bring the gun into court and explain how it works. But anyway, the point is, like, he's making, imagine being the family of the victim watching this. The piece of shit who shot your sister or mom or something is now going to talk to George Stephanopoulos and cry on TV about it and make it all about him.
The only way I didn't pull the trigger makes sense if this was like a modified gun for Hollywood, where they disabled the half-cock safety features, and so that you could do like a quick fire somehow just by just like hitting the hammer back and forth. But if it's a regular Colt single action, like there's no way that the hammer drops without him pulling the trigger. And even if you pulled the hammer back, if he goes less than the half cock, it's not going to set off the primer. If he goes past the half cock, it's not going to hit the bullet because it'll get stopped at the half cock position.
Yeah.
And if he pulls it all the way back and lets go, then he has to pull the trigger to release the hammer. That's getting too technical, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that if this goes to court, it will come out.
I think criminally, I don't think anything can happen to him. I think civilly, there should be like a wrongful death filed against him.
I could see that.
Because he was also producer, right? So he's ultimately responsible for what happens on set.
Yeah. You know what they should have done with the movie Rust? They could have saved the movie. You know how?
Take the footage.
Just in the movie with that footage, like the movie's going, like make it a movie with all the editing stuff right up to the scene where he actually shot her, and then just in the movie with that happening.
Apparently, she was taking photos of him pointing at the camera. That's why she got shot.
Ugh.
So, are those photos on the camera?
I want to see.
Is that something we're going to see one day?
If it goes to, I'm sure it's in evidence right now.
Yeah. No, yeah. If it's in evidence and it gets released, that'd be wild.
That's going to be, those are going to become like iconic posters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If I was Alec Baldwin and I had any balls, I would buy one of them and frame it and put it in my living room.
Getting back to Elon Musk being a Bond villain, I have a screen share you can throw up. He kind of looks like Le Sharif. Is that how you say his name?
Le Chiffre, I think.
Le Chiffre. Yeah. Pretty close to Musk, if you ask me.
Yeah, dude, Musk could be a Bond villain if he could like pick up some acting.
Yeah, he's not a very good speaker. He's got a lot of good traits, but public speaking is not one of them.
Yeah, he wasn't great on SNL, but I also don't blame him for that. I blame SNL for that because they suck.
SNL sucks, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, what else? What else do I got here? Hey, so I kind of tried to see what's going on with the Maxwell. Dude, they're in deliberation right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what's going on there. And because it wasn't televised, I really don't know much at all about what was going on in there.
Only things I heard, like from what was released, is a lot of the case was about her grooming young girls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's hinging on it. But honestly, I have no idea how it's going to go because it wasn't like a trial we could watch. Like the Rittenhouse trial was amazing that we could watch every aspect of it. I wish we could have watched the Smollett trial because a lot of funny stuff came out in the transcripts.
Yeah, because apparently Smollett like started talking shit during the trial, and there were a lot of outbursts from him.
Mm-hmm.
And
my favorite's when he told the lawyer, the prosecutor, who was quoting his text where he was using the N-word.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Can you please stop saying that?" It's like, this is your text. I'm just reading it for the audience.
Why can't that be on video?
Yeah. Like, I just want to see a smug, like, interruption of the prosecution. It's like, dude, I'm going to, like, throw you in jail.
Oh, my God.
You're just making my job easier.
Dude, how do they not give him just a little bit of jail time now after all the shit that he's put them through?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be interesting because
I bet you they give him a little bit of jail time.
The judicial system tried to drop the case, so obviously they're, biased in his favor. So it's like, okay, you're guilty. Here's your slap.
Yeah.
Move on. Honestly, I guess that wouldn't be too bad because it's already like the fact that he's been so publicly embarrassed is good enough punishment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to go to prison, but like I think the longer he fights this, the more likely he's gonna get it. Just because
he'd enjoy prison.
Had it with it. I don't know. It's probably not clean enough for him. He seems like a very clean person.
How's the steam room in prison?
Yeah.
Can my
Yeah.
Nigerian lovers join me?
Yeah. Walks into the cafeteria. Yeah, where's the vegan section? Yeah, do you have soy milk here?
You probably would go to like a really nice, cushy prison. Like,
Yeah.
whatever they sent Martha Stewart to.
Well, I mean, imagine if there was a rule like so one thing to think about is if two other white dudes were actually pinned on the crime, would Jussie have spoken up and said, okay, stop. They didn't really do it. No, he would have probably rolled with it. Right?
Yeah.
He probably would have watched them burn down. And
So
just
if
think,
they
I mean,
got
assaulting somebody-
if they were going after two innocent guys, like two innocent guys got
Yeah.
pinned for the crime.
let's say two innocent guys got pinned for the crime as a result of his hoax, would Jussie have stuck up for them? I doubt it. And
that to me seems more nefarious. Like if that happened, I think throw him in prison.
But if that ends, you're right, it didn't happen.
But like the punishment of being this embarrassed, like is he ever going to be able to act again? Like probably it's Hollywood. They probably still believe he's innocent.
Probably, yeah, probably. I don't think I think he's tainted now, so I don't think he's ever going to be A-list. Plus, apparently, he wasn't even that good of an actor. But
I had never heard of him. What was he in?
Me neither. Empire, a show called Empire.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't either. You look at they're not going for us. Let's just put it.
We're
that
not
way.
the demographic,
right? So, I mean, but if you put it that way, those two guys, had they existed, would have gone to pound me in the ass prison for a while if it's a genuine assault. So,
yeah.
Anyway, that didn't happen. But those are the kind of things that make you not really feel sorry for him if he ends up going to prison. Kind of like the kind of person he is to do something like that, to blame an ethnic group. Basically that's what he was trying to do, was frame white Trump people.
What do you think he should get?
Nothing. What I think they should do, which they're not going to because it doesn't exist. First of all, they should charge him, bill him, force him to pay back the city for all the money and resources they spent trying to help him. Number one. And then number two, they should ban him from Chicago. You're not allowed back in Chicago.
So to you, it sounds like it should be more of a civil settlement than a criminal settlement. It'd be like, okay, you wasted everyone's time, which costs money, so cough it up.
Pay him back, maybe a little more just for pain and suffering or whatever.
Interest.
But it's like putting him in prison. Like, no, I really wish we embraced exiled more. I think
You're lying to the cops.
It's the most underrated. Yeah. Most importantly, tell the truth to the police. But yeah, I think doesn't that make more sense to you?
Yeah, like I don't know if like throwing him in prison really does any more justice than it's already been served.
Unless you're one of those psychos who want to make an example out of him, and to you, I say, don't ever enter the legal system because you're a psycho.
Yeah. Like I really don't have an urge to put his head on a pike. Like right now, like the embarrassment is the head on the pike. Like this is the victory. Like, do we need more?
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty twisted. If you're one of those people who are like, yeah, let's give him a maximum sentence just to show everybody else, like, this is what happens if you pull this. It's like you're a psychopath.
Justice system. It's not a revenge system. And if you have that mindset, you're just out for revenge.
Yeah, it's used as both, unfortunately. But that's yeah. Why? What about you?
No, I agree. I think we've gotten the blood we wanted by embarrassing him so bad. Like this, this is the best outcome. It's like you're a liar. You got caught lying. A jury unanimously agreed that you were lying. Fuck off.
Even his family at Thanksgiving probably rolls their eyes at him when he gets up to go to the bathroom.
Even Dave Chappelle's like, we knew that guy was lying. His whole skit was hilarious.
Yeah, juicy. Famous French actor, gay French actor.
We stood by OJ, but this guy, no.
So the sentence is probably going to be more entertaining than the trial because everybody fucking knew he was going to get guilty.
Yeah.
No, that didn't surprise anybody. So the sentence is going to be more entertaining than the trial, probably.
True. What do you think's taking him so long?
What the
Sentencing.
the sentencing? Well,
been weeks now.
it always takes a while. No, sentencing takes months.
Why?
Because all the lawyers have to agree. Like they do a whole other pre-trial just for the sentencing. They have to, do we have any appeals? Do we have,
You have a right to a speedy trial, but not a speedy sentencing.
dude, it's so hilarious that you have a right to a speedy trial is written in the Bill of Rights. But because you realize, because speedy is subjective, it doesn't mean shit.
Remember that guy who drove, or the SUV that drove itself through the crowd of people at the Christmas parade?
The tragedy, that SUV that went crazy.
So the reason that guy kept getting out on bail wasn't because they didn't know like he was a violent offender. It's because they could never get him to trial quick enough, so they were forced to put him out on bail. So that's why he was like repeatedly getting out. It's just like he kept requesting a speedy trial. They were so backed up they couldn't give him one. So like, all right, you're out on bail. If they had just taken the time to say, okay, this is a slam dunk. Here's your speedy trial. You're guilty, and thrown him in jail. The SUV would have never drove itself through that parade.
Yeah. Well, let's just take his license. Don't do it again. We'll see.
You can't drive without this license. You're powerless behind the wheel now. Yeah. Speedy trial.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the endless appeal system. The lawyers sentencing. I don't know why it's going to take so long. Maxwell, I think Maxwell got delayed because one of the lawyers got sick or something like that.
Got COVID.
Well, no, because if they got COVID, we'd know. I think just sick.
Did you follow the Theranos trial at all?
The what?
The Theranos trial.
Theranos from Marvel, that bad guy?
No. Do you know who Elizabeth Holmes is?
No.
She was like a wannabe Steve Jobs. She started this company called Theranos, and the whole thing was she had this black box that you could put a little drop of blood in, and it would tell you like 99 different test results. And everyone was like, holy crap, this is
like
amazing.
In the movies. Yeah.
Yeah. This is amazing. And she got like millions and millions of dollars to fund this project. And the whole thing turned out to be bullshit.
Right.
And it unraveled on her. And now she's on trial for defrauding all the investors because the tech was bullshit. But like she wore black turtlenecks. She deepened her voice to sound more like Steve Jobs. She like everything. She's like crafting her image to be the perfect fake it till you make it kind of.
What's her name? What's her name?
Elizabeth Holmes.
Okay.
Put a picture up of her.
Oh, okay. I recognize that picture.
Because she was like Woman of the Year not too long ago, like a couple years ago.
Okay.
And they are still waiting to reach a verdict on her.
I gotcha. Well.
Okay, yeah, they're 5 days into deliberations, so it could be a hung jury.
Oh shoot, that's me, Sharon.
But just look at her eyes. She's got the crazy eyes.
She does look. Yeah. She looks like she'd be fun, but you'd regret it immediately.
Look at that. Guilty.
Oof. Oh, dude, that's. Oh goodness.
Oh yeah, here she is on Forbes.
Oh man, they probably loved that. What did she say? She invented it or something, or she just was a investor?
No, she was like the CEO.
Oh, the company that made it, and
she was like this inspiration to women. Like she was like, women can lead the charge on innovation. She's running this great tech company. She's going to revolutionize the health industry, and it all unraveled as just bullshit.
Yeah.
Sudden feminism back.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, she was going hard at the Steve Jobs look.
Yeah, you're right. Well, she can still save her career if she can if she like does a topless shoot or something, she can maybe save her career. But yeah, it looks like it's over.
We just got a comment on YouTube. Isn't that the white supremacist hand signal?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Perfect.
Is that a red pill? I can't tell. It's black and white.
It's probably why they had to make it black and white. Oh shit, that's red. We can't put that up there.
But what was really funny is before her trial, she got married and got knocked up. She's going for that sympathy card hard. Like, you can't throw a pregnant woman in jail. I'm about to be a mother.
Oh, she's like, quick, I gotta get pregnant real quick.
I wonder the guy who was like, oh yeah, I've heard about you and all the crazy stuff you've done. Let's date and get married and have a kid. How much did she have to pay for that?
So hey, do you know who the thing I've been into lately is, like the last couple of days, I got kind of hooked into this. Do you know who Ray Epps is? So apparently there is an accusation that, or there's, how should I start this? Okay. So January 6th is coming up, the holiday January 6th. I hope all of you are with your families and
never forget where you were.
Take some
January
time to
6th.
celebrate and remember our fallen brethren on January 6th. And there's this theory, well, the theory started immediately that this was started like a deep state provocation, like there were deep state provocateurs that kind of stirred this up, which, I mean, it's obviously not a crazy theory. Even you don't need evidence to throw that one out.
The Governor Whitmore kidnapping plot. Where,
well, yeah. Well, staging riots.
11 out of the 13 conspirators were FBI agents.
Well, yeah, the federal government's really bad at a lot of things. One of the things that they're really good at is staging protests and starting riots in other countries. So it sounds like doing it in the United States would also be pretty easy.
Well, shoot, you remember the Summer of Love, all the riot videos where there's always the guy and like blacked out and like breaking the windows to kind of start instigating the crowd and escalating things.
Yeah,
like, we still don't know who those people were. Chances are some of them could have been feds, some of them could have been chaos actors. Who knows?
So that brings me to this gentleman here, this guy named Ray Epps. This is a very quick theory. The theory is very quick. That this is an FBI provocateur who went there to kind of help turn the protest into this riot that can then be used as a false flag against Trump. And their evidence for this is that there is video of this guy yelling like, "We're going to the Capitol. We're going inside, everybody." I'm probably, and in a second we're going to play some like clips. Here, let's just play it right now. Oh shit! Well, I'm not going to get Daily Mail Co. or whatever.
Americans, they're terrorists. You are. Yes, you are. Guys, you are. Guys, I'm not saying they've already given up their American rights. Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it. Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. What? No! Peaceful. That.
They're even calling him a fed. Okay, so here's
C can help increase the value of your cattle ration. Triple nutrient whole cotton seed
I
is 90.
gotta stop sharing now because
is this a conservative website? Buy gold bars and boner pills.
So here's the theory. This guy, he's a provocateur, and here's the evidence. He has not been arrested.
Ooh. Did he go in the building?
It's no. So here's video of him clearly inciting, this action and being a major part of it. And there's a bunch of pictures of him. Here's his identity and everything. But he hasn't been arrested. Why not? End of theory.
He didn't do trespassing. Isn't that like all the charges at this point is just like trespassing?
That's a good point. Maybe if you never actually went in there, could you get in trouble for this? Look, wait a minute. Look, he was actually pictured on the Seeking Information, FBI, whatever page here. So he was a person of interest at one point. And then suddenly, they took him off and he hasn't been arrested. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's arrested. Why not? Okay. So one theory, like you said, maybe if you didn't actually go inside the building, you can't get charged with anything. Just legally, there's nothing to charge him with. Is that true? What can you think of how that might be illegal?
That's my my gut feeling. Like, I haven't seen anyone get charged for like domestic terrorist conspiracy. It's all been like just federal trespassing, and then like the maximum sentence you can get for that.
Yeah,
Buffalo man got what, 3 years?
Yeah, they're making an example of him, and he's getting 3 years, which I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad considering what he did. I mean, he became an internet legend. Is that worth 3 years in the joint? You're a young man. I hope he's as tough as he looks in those pictures, though. That's what I'm going to say. So I guess conspiracy to commit. It would have to be. There's the whole like don't shout fire in a crowded hallway thing. So inciting it'd be civil unrest maybe, or it's probably civil unrest, right? Unless they're going to go with like conspiracy to commit treason or something. But so far they haven't gone that far.
I'm trying to find. It was Thomas Sebeck.
God damn it! I was talking. Nick, what or who?
Thomas Sebeck.
Who's
I
that?
think was Buffalo man's name.
Oh,
was it? I don't know.
I just call him Buffalo Man. You look that up, they'll tell you. The great internet will tell you who the traitor to the crown is. Okay, well, anyway, civil unrest. What do you think? Is that? Can you get for civil unrest?
I'm trying to get it. I keep getting Thomas Sebeck of Buffalo, but not Buffalo Man.
This would be the point where I'd ask the audience if there's a lawyer. Well, anyway, so that's the theory. It honestly, to tell you the truth, there's probably a very simple reason why he hasn't been arrested, but it really sounds good. It sounds like a pretty fun, moon landing-esque conspiracy theory. It says he's an oath keeper. Do you know what an oath keeper is? Former U.S. Marine and oath keeper. That's one of those stupid right-wing, like conservative Tea Party groups, right?
Here we go. They call him QAnon shaman, not Buffalo Man. That's why I'm not getting the right results.
QAnon shaman.
Jacob Chansley. That sounds right. Okay, here's what he was sentenced with. It was obstruction. He pled guilty to one felony count of obstruction of an official proceeding. And he got 41 months.
Obstruction to what?
An official proceeding.
Oh, okay. Okay, but this guy didn't even go in the building, so they can't get it for trespassing. The only thing they could get him for would be like inciting a riot, but that's not a charge. It would be probably civil unrest or that's the only thing I can think of. Disorderly conduct, maybe.
I'm trying to see what he was indicted of because he only pled guilty to one thing. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
I don't think I have the right screen up. Let me share it again.
Then no.
Give me just a sec. Here's the indictment. He was given civil disorder, obstruction of official proceeding, entering and remaining in a restricted building, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building, violent entry, disorderly conduct, parading, demonstrating, and picketing in the Capitol building. None of that's treason. None of that's domestic terrorism.
No treason. So if they can't get this guy, the guy who actually went into the building with a spear, if he can't get charged with treason, then they obviously can't charge Ray Epps over here. Maybe they just looked into him and were just like, okay, well, we didn't go in.
Because if he was just demonstrating outside the building, then that's not a restricted area.
And saying we should go inside the Capitol or what? Yeah, that's probably what this is. Well, that's not a very fun answer. But
sorry.
Now there's a bunch of sales. But now who is Ray Epps is one of those things you can look up on the internet and go down a nice juicy rabbit hole.
No, looks like a boomer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
sorry.
So anyway, I hope you guys get
stick in the mud on this conspiracy.
I think I'm gonna buy some extra fireworks for January 6th. And shoot those off too. Now we can have 2 fireworks days.
I'm just curious to see like all the lib posting about how democracy almost died that day. Right, really?
It was such a danger to democracy. It was the attack. I like how articles try to sound objective and legitimate, and they call it an attack.
Yeah, not like
An attack.
for security at the Capitol.
So that what's come out of that investigation into January 6th? It's been almost a year now. What's come out of it? Nothing.
Nothing will come out of it. I think
No.
it's serving its purpose. There's headlines. They're going to have the big democracy almost died anniversary on
pony
the
show.
6th.
Yeah.
No, did you see that Trump is going to do a press conference the same day?
Yes, I did, which is great.
That should be fun.
I'll watch that, a press conference. Although these days, they have shown that they can turn him off. Do you think maybe they'll just try to shut the whole thing, censor the whole thing?
Who would host him?
That's a good question. Yeah, it
Would
used to
even
be the
Fox
media
have him
just-
on?
I don't know. Good question.
It might be
And-
like you have to like go on, whatever website he's putting it on because no one else will air it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the entire corporate press is just like, no, don't let him on. Blacklist
I
him.
bet you. I think they've learned. Unfortunately, it used to be they just couldn't help themselves with Trump, but after the whole Hunter
They
Biden
learned
laptop
that
thing,
they were the secret to his power. If
They had
there
to-
was no corporate press, there'd be no Trump.
yeah, it's funny to say they've learned. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I hope they cover it. I want to see it. Trump doing press conferences is what I miss the most from his presidency.
Mhm.
That's my favorite thing in the world. It's when Trump was president, that's when I discovered keep the investigation going as long as possible, because we love to have these dramatic courtroom moments to make YouTube clips out of, and just as long as Trump's being investigated, then we're good. It doesn't matter if anything comes out of it.
We
just
want to subpoena
him
someone.
in
We want to have a couple
investigation.
of Democratic senators chastise them for a couple hours so we can get some good clips and then write some news articles.
We
Let's
need to-
just do that for 4 years.
We need to make a list of all the things they investigated him for.
And if any of them fuck up, throw him in jail for perjury.
And they're still talking about how he's going to jail for this. Yeah. So anyway, I can't wait for January 6th. I can't wait for them to do all of the media specials about January 6th.
Mhm.
They're definitely going to talk about it like it's 9/11. 1
I was
year,
gonna say,
there's
it's-
the piano. 1 year after the event.
Do you remember where you were on January 6th?
Where were you on that day? And they're going to have the cop. He's going to be a special guest, and George Stephanopoulos is going to ask the cop who cried about being attacked. Remember that guy?
Is it the Ashley Babbitt guy? Or the guy
No,
who shot
well,
Ashley Babbitt?
he'll be a guest. He'll be a guest too, but also the cop that got mobbed and kind of like had to duck and sneak out of there, and he cried because he was he was on the stand or whatever during the Senate hearings.
The guy who shot Ashley, I just want to see him in like an official interview where they're like letting him give his story, and then one of them like, so hey, going back a year earlier, why did you leave your gun unattended in the bathroom where a kid could grab it?
Why'd you leave? Yeah, why did you leave your gun on the toilet?
Why do you
And,
have this record of being the most incompetent cop in the Capitol building? Do you think that played a role in why you shot this woman?
No, they're going to thank him for his service instead. Assuming he doesn't do something until maybe they're going to invite him to the special, but he ends up accidentally shooting a kid with a BB gun before the actual interview.
You saw
starts.
it? That kid was coming right at me.
He was storming the Capitol.
That orphanage attacked me first.
Yeah, I can't wait. Dude, I'll watch it. Yeah, the attack, man, that was one of the best days of my life.
Best days.
Yeah,
It was a
I
fun
loved
day
it.
on Twitter.
It was great. Yeah. So, what else do we have here before they talk about? Yeah, they're gonna have. So I think. Do you think the husband, do you think Ashley Babbitt's husband? What was the guy's name? Bird, right? Wasn't the guy's name Bird? The guy? No, the guy with the gun who left it on the toilet. Bird, I think. Something Bird. Do you think that guy? And then her husband. We did a whole episode on it. And then her husband's that guy with the beard. Do you think he's gonna get terminal cancer and then just
Michael Bird.
Yeah. Do you think Michael's gonna get popped by this guy one day, like the guy in the phone booth who shot that guy for raping his kid.
Oh,
One
I don't
day,
know about that.
well, he gets terminal cancer, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna die anyway. I might as well go kill Bird for killing my wife.
I don't know the state of the civil suit against him. Because if I was Ashley Babbitt's husband, I would definitely go after wrongful death because they already cleared him of criminal wrongdoing. But it's like, well, you still killed an unarmed woman.
Yeah, that means, that doesn't mean not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotcha. Dude, that was the craziest story. The guy who shot the dude at the airport. What was his name? I looked this up so many times.
I know what you're talking about. Count Dacula did a Mad Lads on him.
Did we show that video? Anyway, so look that. Are you gonna look that up? I'm gonna keep going here. Let's see what else we got.
Look it up. Keep
All
going.
right. All right, so let's see what else I got on the docket here. So we talked about the CDC.
Gary Plausch.
Yeah, dude, pull that video up. I want to watch that. That shot, that was such a good shot, too. So for people who don't know what we're talking about, back in the 90s, the late 90s, this guy, one of his really close family friends, who was like this karate instructor, like that he felt really bad for and took him into his family to like help out. And he was around his family all the time. It turns out he actually was molesting his son and actually even like kidnapped him at one point. And so this guy was convicted and everything, and they were transferring him. It was a prisoner transfer from one airport to another. The son's dad, the guy we're talking about, whose family friend, like close family friend, raped his son. He this happened at the airport when the gentleman was being escorted.
Was an American known for the 1984 vigilante killing of
I just explained all of this.
Kidnapped and raped
Skip
his
ahead
son,
to the
Jody
skip ahead to
Plausch.
the video.
The killing occurred on Friday, March 16th, 1984, and was
Oh, dude, they're
captured
not
on
gonna
camera by a news
they're gonna
television
show it?
crew. Although Plausch shot and killed Dowsett,
Please
he was
excuse
given
my
a 7-year
co-host.
suspended sentence in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was separated from his wife June at the time of the in 1984. Jody
Just showing the
Plausch
stills.
was taking karate lessons.
Oh.
Give me just a second.
Yeah, that's no good. So anyway, this guy.
I know it's in the in this video.
Oh, dude, we're gonna steal content from Dankula.
Go watch his video and give him views afterwards if you feel bad.
Where's the video? Oh, here it is. What?
And just as Jeffrey Doucette was walking past, Gary Plauché, 180 no
dude,
scope.
I've seen a video where I
right
saw the
in the
whole
head.
thing.
All of the Baton
we
Rouge
didn't
police
actually
officers
prepare
who
for
were
this
at
story.
the airport that day to escort Jeffrey Doucette.
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna have to find the actual video of him shooting him. But anyway, he shoots him in the airport. The guy gets he gets convicted of murder, doesn't get any prison time. Like none at all.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
spend a day in
jury's
prison
like
for
the jury's
murder.
like, okay, we get it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, it's the only instance I can think of basically justifiable homicides that was recognized in the courts where
I don't think you're gonna
get
get it on
convicted
YouTube.
anyway. But it won't be on YouTube. But
There's a live link when you need it.
yeah, dude, no kidding.
Oh wait, here it is.
Oh, that's it, man. Yep.
March of 1984, when authorities
The sound
escorted
coming through?
25-year-old Jeffrey
Yeah.
Doucette through the
Unfortunately, I
Baton
hear
Rouge
that.
airport to face charges of kidnapping and sexual assault on a 12-year-old boy. The victim's father suddenly appeared, shot Doucette while news cameras were rolling. The father, 39-year-old Leon Gary Plauché, pleaded no contest to a reduced charge of manslaughter and today received a suspended sentence with 5 years probation. The judge said prison would serve no useful purpose.
Hell yeah.
They looked at his skin color and said, "I think we can get by with just probation. Good sir. Have a nice day." Yeah, just murders this guy. It was clearly murder one. I mean,
Premeditated for sure.
yeah, and but also if you watch the video, the guy like gets his gun and does this like spin move or whatever, where he's lucky he didn't hit anybody else because he was moving like really fast.
You practice that one in the mirror.
Anyway, so I forgot what brought that up, but
you were talking about
that might happen to Bird. That might happen to Bird.
I don't think so.
No, probably not. But if
also
Bird,
he wouldn't get the same resolution because Bird's seen as a hero to half the country.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay. I don't think I have anything else, do you?
You want to finish on Joe Biden saying "Let's go, Brandon"?
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Do you have it?
I'll get it.
Yeah, let's end with that one. This is another candidate for the cold open. Unfortunately, it's kind of old. That's because we haven't been making shows. We've been letting a lot of stuff get by because we're busy.
Yeah, work, life,
raising family. What are you doing? You. Yeah, you.
Here we go.
And how about Penelope?
Well, Penelope, she's only 2, so I think she'd be happy with just about it.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful that you have a 2-year-old.
Well,
That reminds me of the 2-year-old we just blew up in Yemen.
By the way, you guys have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and asleep between 9 and 12, or he doesn't show up.
This isn't to you, Jared. This is to the kids.
That's right.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Oh,
Merry
thank you.
Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I
Yeah.
agree. Hey, by the way, where are you?
His
in
wife's
Oregon?
like, "Fuck."
And then he asks him, "Where are you?" Yeah, hey, where do you live?
Where's your home?
Where do you live? I'm sending the drone now.
What's your name?
Yeah.
I kill people,
Okay.
motherfucker.
His wife is like, "Oh God,
Dude, to tell you, listen, if I'm being totally honest, though, he kind of handled it like a champ.
really?"
Honestly, I mean,
There's two camps. There's those who he knew what was going, knew the phrase, and just owned it and moved on, which would probably be the best response, to just get out of the way of it and don't make a big deal about it. The second camp is he has no idea, and he just said, "Go fuck myself."
I think he probably just doesn't get the. You were just talking about Elizabeth Warren, how there's no way she would even see any of this, like, because she's so insulated from this.
Yeah.
Do you think Biden even knows "Let's Go, Brandon" is a thing?
No, I don't think so. That's the camp I'm in. Like, he has
Yeah.
no idea. So he's just like, "Oh, this must be a popular slogan."
Yeah, so they
Which makes
and now
sense.
I think Jill probably knew what it was because I saw her face.
He is not Trump. He is not on Twitter. He is not paying attention to this bullshit. He's I don't know what he does during his day, but it's definitely not social media.
He's probably just going like, when I went to that baseball game, they were all shouting, "Let's go, Brandon." It seems that there's a Brandon on every player of every sports team. Every time I go to these games, they're shouting, "Let's go, Brandon." Okay. It's a very popular name.
I gotta say though, it is very
I want him to start chanting it. Wouldn't that would be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life? Like, imagine he starts chanting "Let's go, Brandon" too. He's like, "Well, everyone loves Brandon. Now I'm gonna do it."
It is a very effective meme.
Yeah.
As your grandmother can say, "Let's go, Brandon," and not feel guilty.
Yeah.
Opposed to like saying "fuck Trump," you really got to be like, it's vulgar from the start, but like "Let's go, Brandon" is just so innocent.
Yeah. Well, and then of course, it, as all great internet jokes do in the political realm, it was really funny when it happened, but then people just couldn't let it go, and so now,
it's in the beat the horse to death.
Yeah,
phase.
the horse has been pulverized, and now the horse is being put in the chipper shredder.
At this point,
right-wing-
it's all downhill from Biden saying "Let's go." Brandon.
Yeah. So
every
now-
other time the joke's used now, it's just diminishing returns.
Right. And so the right-wing people seem to believe that the liberals are just really, really beaten up by it, but it's not super clear that they really are. The liberals are saying, like, we don't care. Or, I mean, I guess there probably are some people who are melting down over it, but
At this point, it's the equivalent of saying, fuck Drumpf, or like, fuck, that
Yeah.
stupid Colbert thing.
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah.
that lost
Donald
its
Rump.
steam really quick.
Yeah, Donald Rump. Yeah. Yeah, Cheeto. Yeah, basically.
It's not the own that you think it is anymore.
And they imagine the Trump supporters just like like breaking.
I can't stand it when they say that.
Yeah. So anyway, and also the guy got doxxed immediately. And I mean, like, the guy didn't see this coming, I'm pretty sure. And then he film himself doing it and then put it on YouTube. So now he's complaining because everybody knows who he is and they're trying to, so now he's one of those internet mob victims.
That's your own fault, man. If you're going to do that, own it.
But it's yeah, you should have either immediately launched like an internet personality campaign, or I guess just skip town and be like, yeah, you shouldn't have called.
At least he's not getting the CNN treatment. That kid who made the GIF of CNN getting that wrestling beat down. CNN threatened to destroy his life if he didn't take it down.
Yeah, did the media respond to this at all? I don't think so.
No, I think it's just conservative spheres that are losing their mind over it.
Yeah. All right, cool.
That's all I got.
Is that it? All right, let's call it there. I guess we will see you guys later. Adios.
Peace.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.